G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we will be looking at the Takara Legends LG66 Topspin with Peacemaker. I did have to write that down because I knew I was going to forget. And of course, this guy is a headmaster slash Titan master, so his head does transform, and of course he turns into Freezeoff. For those of you who have the Legacy Point Blank and you don't like his Target Master, their version of Peacemaker, this is your perfect alternative if you can still find one out there in the wild. I would highly recommend it because from the pictures I've seen with him, he doesn't look very impressive. The pictures I've seen, he's honestly... The Target Master is worse than even the G1 version, from what I remember. I never owned it, but I do remember it. So, but we're getting away from the figure at hand. We should be focusing on this guy. So he does look nice. The paint job is obviously the more better version of the two. I don't have the original Titan's Return, but at least he has two proper feet, which I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the Twin Twist video, because he has two wrong feet. And basically they both are very similar to each other, pretty much for the most part. Should have given this guy a little bit of a dust. I don't even know where I was going with that. I don't know, just completely went blank. Oh, that's what it was. The mold's pretty much identical except for a few alterations. So pretty much if you can transform Twin Twist, you can pretty much transform Topspin. So let's get his not so Target Master out of the way. So we'll put Topspin over the side. And he transforms a lot like the Titan Masters. We'll just call him Target Master. This is what he is. He's a Target Master. Does back in those not too long ago. We can just flip open his legs. And we're going to untab here. We're going to twist at the waist and get his hand out of the way so that the handle goes at the back. We're going to rotate his legs around, or shins around so that's the right way. And that sort of pegs in the back there. And there we have Peacemaker. And like I said, he is, if I can get it to focus, he is by far a lot more improved than what they gave the modern Point Blank. Honestly, this is far more impressive. From what I saw, that in the images, he's very static. He has no posability. He has a flip waist, and that's it. So for those of you who were really disappointed, here's your alternative if you can find it, in with or without Topspin. But as for articulation, the head can't turn, but if you disconnect or untransform the barrel, you can turn his waist and his head does move. So there is that. Arms can go up that far. They can do a full 360. They want to say they can come forward, but they can't really. A little bit, but that's more for the ball joint. We've already looked at the waist. Legs can go up that far. Legs go back that far until you hit the barrel, and then you got to start moving things. Knee goes that far. He has got knee bend, knee twist due to the ball joint, and feet are slightly angled, are they? Yeah, I think the slightest angle. So there we go. I don't really have any other figures, but I still have my wheelie from last episode, so there you go. So that is Peacemaker. So we'll put him aside for the moment, and we'll come back to Topspin. Now, for those of you who know that your G1 figures, you know Topspin was a flip changer. I'm pretty sure I said this in the last video as well. Basically, they would slide it along the ground, and his feet would be basically up here, and they would flip forward, and he'd flip up, and he'd be transformed. Quick, simple, easy, preschool level transformers. They're basically on the same level as the the Battle Chargers, which was Run Amok and Runabout, and the trying to remember. I've got two of them. I say turbo somethings. Basically, Gold Bug, and a few of the others that I'm blanking on at the moment. Roll Bar and Chase, Spotlight, and now I think there's only one I've forgotten to mention. Wide Load, I think it is. Someone in the description, in the comments, in your description, yeah, because you can edit my description. Someone in the comments remind me what group they were called. Turbo Masters or something like that. I'm pretty sure. I've got two of them. They're in my toy box somewhere that I've had for donkey's ages, but I can't remember exactly what they're called. Anyway, getting down to this guy. Head can do a full 360. It can kind of look up, can kind of look down. Some slight wiggle. Arms can do a full 360. They can go out that far. You can use transformation joint, providing that wing doesn't get in the way. And you can go back on there, frost out. Wings can move if you have a use for that. Bicep rotation. Double jointed elbow gets you all the way up. I think there should be wrist rotation. Hang on a second. No wrist rotation, no fingers. We do have waist swivel, although it's more pelvis swivel because it's all under the waist. Legs go up this far, legs go back that far, and can go out that far. You have thigh bend, thigh swivel. You also have a little bit at the hips. You have single joint knee there. This can move if you want, so you can have it more flatter or outer. No ankle tilt. It's sort of sculpted at it, but you can't really use the toe unless you start going to transformation. So there we go. I don't know why my left elbow isn't going far. Anyway, let's do our first size, well, technically second size comparison. Here he is with MP10. So obviously MP10 towers over him. I'll tell you what, if they ever made this guy and the other in a third party, I would laugh if one of them decided to just do the flip changer gimmick and just stick with that. Alright, before we get into transformation, we will take a closer look at his head, which is Freezeoff, and of course he was never originally a headmaster. Like I said, he was just flip changer, just flipped. But of course, Titan Masters gave a lot of Titan characters who didn't have heads and have headmasters' heads. So there we go. He is obviously a bit better painted because he is the Takara version, and I don't know how well I can get on that face. It's so damn small. You just make out the blue of his eyes and silver of his face. And yeah, so you do have a twist at the head there. If I can not toss him away, would be nice. Arms can go up that far. They can come out a little bit, but you're going to start popping it off the ball joint. Legs go that, oops, sorry, apologize. Legs go up that far, if I can stay focused again. Legs won't go any further due to the head, and knees go both ways. Of course, solid piece for the foot. So put him off the side for the time being, and we'll once again get back to Topspin, or at least what remains of Topspin. Alright, so here we go. Let's get down to transformation. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to flip out this piece and put this hand in and close. Actually, I need to fold all that in, don't I? So that all folds up like a neat package and close that up. Same on the other side. Flip that out, flip that in, flip this up, close that. Alright, so we do need to do a little bit of twisty here, and I'm just remembering what the order is. So we're going to flip up this, although that does sort of scrape across there. We're going to try and remember which way this goes. We need to pop, where is it? We need to pop what, there we go. Lift this up. We're going to twist that around. I think that's it. We can then fold this back up, like so. Bring this all down. Bring this down. This folds up into this groove here, like so. And same on the other side, like so. I think I've got it in as far as it'll go. All right, now we have the legs. So we're going to open up the back panel, this way. You're going to push up on the foot. So we have this other booster. This is all going to combine towards in. So it tabs in behind the knee. Oh, hang on. No. I do have this upside down. So turn it at the waist first. I had a feel. I knew there was another bend there. I knew there was another bend. All right, so we'll flip this around the other way. Once again, tab that, push that in as far as it'll go. And it can be somewhat awkward. Just keep pushing. It won't fold back down. So just be aware of that. And it just sort of sits. I'm trying to find, I'm sure there's a tab here. I think it's more this other foot. This other leg, I should say. So fold that out. Flip that around. Flip that all in as far as it'll go. And as up as far as it'll go, you're going to tab in the back ends. These fold down if you want them to. Just give them a nice push forward. Everything should line up. So nothing really, it kind of tabs in here, but doesn't really tab in anywhere else. And as long as the waist is swiveled correctly and everything else is straight, we can then come in here, flip this down, and that gives us our landing gear. And there is Topspin in his vehicle mode. So there you go. He does look nice, although, honest to God, for those of you who watched it, does this not remind anybody else of Silverhawks? Was it Silver? I'm sure it was Silverhawks. The jet they had, where it had the 4 components. You had the main ship, and then you had the other 2, and the Silverhawks would fly out while Bluegrass, I think it was, still kept piloting. So honestly, that just gives me the sort of feeling of that ship. Nostalgia is a beautiful thing. But yeah, it is a nice vehicle mode. Like I said, he was a one-step changer. He was a flip changer. So basically, he would be this, except his feet would have been over here. So when he transformed, this all flipped forwards, and that was it. So it's nice that they were able to modify and actually give this guy a proper transformation. And of course, with these wings, you can angle them how you want. So you can have a more of a sci-fi-ish look and whatnot. Oh, I didn't mention, I apologize, but port here, blast effect. I know I spotted you, I just spotted you too. Where is, oh, hang on, wing, there. Blast effect, although that's more if you want your Titan standing on it, of course. I think that's all of them. You can't even really put blast effects on the boosters. So there we go, but we can. We're not quite done yet. We can, I feel like those aren't far enough. I should, sure they are, but you can, and it can be a little difficult, flip this up. And I'm trying to remember if this guy has the same problem that Twin Twist does. I think he does. You can take Freeze out here, and you can sit him in the cockpit. Now, the problem with the way this cockpit's designed, it's the same, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's the same on Twin Twist, is you lower that down, he doesn't fit. You have this massive gap here. So the only way to legitimately get this guy to fit is you literally have to lay him down. So you take him in there and you just lay him in like that. And then you can close that. And now he looks more like he's in a some sort of capsule more than the actual. I'm still trying to figure that those going further, but I don't think they do. It looks like he's in some sort of stasis pod more than flying. So, you know, he can take a nice nap while Topspin's flying through wherever. So there we go. And of course, you can probably take Peacemaker and plug him into here and here. Of course, he doesn't come with the original Titans Return weapons, so that gimmick's gone. I think they plugged into here, but you get Peacemaker, so it's definitely worth the difference. So as for our second size comparison. Here he is with Windblade. He's a little shallower distance-wise and height-wise. Yeah, she's a bit taller still. So she's longer, taller, and wider. Big surprise. Alright, so let's get this guy back into robot mode. We'll take Freezeoff out of there and pop him to the side. And we can close that back up again. Alright, we'll start with the legs and work our ways down. So we're going to untab that. We're going to pull all this out. Like I said, none of that really tabs in anywhere apart from where it does. That really sounds like more it doesn't plug in, but it does where it does. You know, it just plugs in here. So that all goes forward. Get that out of the way and just sort of lines up. You're going to flip down the foot and you're going to collapse all this, and that's one leg all done. So same on the other side, we'll just give that a flip out just to start it off. This all pulls out. Whoops. Now I think it's this one as well. I have a tendency, actually is there? Oh, there is another tabbing spot. It's in the crutch. I don't even really think. There's like the smallest tab on the inside of his leg, which tabs into here. So there you go. There is another tabbing point. So there we go. So flip that down, fold that around, and we have the legs. Beg my pardon. But this does have a tendency to want to slide off, and it's just on a mushroom peg. So yeah, don't be surprised. All right, so we can twist the legs around. We're also going to put the wheel back up. We can we need to pull the arms out first. Right, pull these out as far as they'll go. We don't want to open all that up yet. We want to flip this up. Well, they can go in there. Rotate the body around. Tab that all back into place, like so. You can angle, of course, the arms however high you want. You can have them lower down, but you're supposed to have them technically higher. You can then open up the back panel. We're going to flip this down, and then we're going to flip the hand out, and that closes up. And of course, on the other side. So flip that out, flip that down, close that up. And we have Topspin, at least his body, in robot mode. Then of course, I just smacked it on the table. I'm going to spin his head around because I find this easy connecting. Flip that down. That can go into there. And there we have Topspin in his robot mode with head. And just for the sake of it, there's Peacemaker. So there we go. I do have another figure coming hopefully in the next week, which I'm pretty excited of. Not very sophisticated, very simple, but I am quite looking forward to it. It's a figure figures I should say, that I've been after a while. But there we go. So if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of Topspin, and if you would actually hunt down this figure, or at least Peacemaker on his own, to replace the one that comes with Point Blank. I'm curious how many of you would actually do that. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.